Hi guys. I'm just going to do a flip through of the prompts I've done for Peachtober and Inktober. I've done them in my sketchbook, but I've just been using the pages that were left because I've pretty much finished. Well, the sketchbook's finished now. But yeah, I've combined both the prompt lists. So on day one, I've done Acorn from Peachtober and then Moustache from Inktober. So those were the first 2 days. And as you can see, I've done a little acorn man. I used the Ohuhu alcohol markers to do this, and then some coloured pencils afterwards. And I was going to make it kind of like a zombie. Sorry, my dogs decided they're thirsty now that I'm recording. Yeah. The second prompt for Peachtober was kite, and the second prompt for Inktober was weave. So I've done a snake weaved through a kite, and I did this with acrylic markers. Then day 3 was slug for Peachtober and crown for Inktober. And I've done this with the Ohuhu alcohol markers. Then day 4 was gingham for Peachtober and murky for Inktober. So I did an angular fish with the Ohuhu markers. Then day 5 was poppy for Peachtober and deer for Inktober. So I've got a think is it anamorphic there. I don't know. And again, I've used the Ohuhu acrylic markers. This one is ring for Peachtober and pierce for Inktober. And I've used the Meaden gouache for this. And for the next one, I've used the gouache again. And the prompt for Peachtober was strawberry, and the one for Inktober was starfish. So I did Patrick. Don't know why I'm turning the page again there. But yeah, it's Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants in his all his glory. And I've used the Mead and gouache. This was one of my favourite ones. I thought it looked pretty cool. And you'll notice that I'm like trying to find what number the page is for the next one because they're not in order where I've just filled in the pages in my sketchbook. And if I'd wanted to use like the brown craft paper or the white paper, I've gone like back and forth. I did make the sketchbook myself, so it's not perfect, but it was fun to use. Now this is day 8 for Peachtober was Leaf and for Inktober was Reckless. So I've done somebody's had a few drinks and they're playing this game where you try not to stab your hand and put the knife in between each finger, which is pretty reckless, I think, especially seeing as they've had a drink. And that is with the mead and gouache as well. And then this is day 9, and the prompt for Peachtober was rope, and the prompt for Inktober was heavy. So I did a rope swing with an elephant on it because elephants are pretty heavy, aren't they? I've used the gouache again, but I mean, it's cute, but I'm not like fussed about how it turned out on that paper. And I haven't. I don't mind the gouache; it's quite nice. I do want to try the Holbein gouache. I've got a feeling it's going to be a lot nicer. And I didn't realise that it was right opposite there. So this is day 10, and the prompt for Peachtober was critter. So I've done a rat, and the prompt for Inktober was sweep. So it's a rat sweeping using that same mead and gouache because I just really liked it. And day 11 that we're going to go on to now is for Peachtober was seagull, and for Inktober was sting. So I've done this kind of hybrid seagull wasp. um, yeah, wasp or bee, whatever you want it to be. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I enjoyed doing that. And then this is day 12. So for Peachtober, the prompt was bark, and for Inktober, it was shredded. So I thought I'd do a dog barking that was shredded. And then I decided to do the background, and I thought it would be fitting to put trees and some tree bark. So that's what I did. And this was actually one of my faves. I really liked that. And then we're going to go on to number 13, which I did on a loose sheet of paper. I was running out of pages in my sketchbook. So marble was the prompt for Peachtober and drink for Inktober. So I made a marble drink. I used a combination. The black is the mead and gouache, and then the marble is all the Kiritaki watercolors. I had like a gold Kiritaki paint and stuff. I quite enjoyed doing that. It was a bit more simple. And after that, number 14, the prompt for Peachtober was brush, and for Inktober it was trunk. So I did an elephant again, but this time an elephant putting some blusher on with a blusher brush. That was with acrylic markers. And day 15, the prompt for Peachtober was aquarium, and for Inktober it was ragged. So I thought I'd do Raggedy Ann. I've seen quite a few things lately about the doll from that film. Oh, what's it called? You know, the horror film, and there's the cursed doll, Annabelle. But it's actually a Raggedy Ann doll. I didn't know that. And yeah, she is pretty creepy, so I think it's quite fitting. Anyway, I've gone back to using the gouache on this. The Raggedy Ann was the acrylic markers. This one, the prompt for Peachtober, number 16, was hatch, and for Inktober was blunder. So we've got a guy falling next on a wet floor that says caution wet floor, and then there is the trapdoor program. But I always think that it's a hatch because I've worked in bars and we would call it a hatch. So I don't know. I googled it, and hatch is usually like an opening or a doorway in the floor. So yeah. Eh. Anywho, on to day 17, and the prompt for Peachtober was whistle, and then the prompt for Inktober was ornate. So I did an ornate whistle. I used acrylic markers for this on the kind of craft paper. I quite like it. It's cute. If I had to get a whistle, I'd get one that looked like this. It's nice. I don't have any use for whistles though, so yeah. I'm just fumbling through my sketchbook trying to find the next prompt. And the next prompt, oh, sorry, the next prompt for day 18 for Peachtober was toad, and for Inktober it was dill. So I've got these two toads doing a dodgy little deal. He's gone to buy some special flies. They're fireflies. He's just handing over his money. I liked this. This was with the acrylic. It's not acrylic gouache. It's just regular gouache from Meaden. Yeah, I thought this was pretty cute. I enjoyed doing that. And then I've gone over the top with some pencils to add in the details. And the next prompt for Peachtober Day 19 was melon, and for Inktober it was Arctic. So I've done a polar bear in the Arctic eating a melon. And he's got one of those like silly cut out melons on his head. I've used the mead and gouache for this again. Oh, my dog's moaning, sorry. Now we're on day 20, and the prompt for Peachtober was truck, and the prompt for Inktober was rivals. So we've got a cat and a dog in their trucks about to have a race. You know, cats and dogs are rivals. And oh, Judy, my dog's decided that she wants to come and give me a kiss. And that was acrylic markers. That was acrylic marker on the craft paper. Moving on to day 21, the prompt for Peachtober was snowflake, and for Inktober it was blast. So I don't know what country you're in, but in the UK, if you go to the cinema, they sell these drinks called Ice Blast, and they have a snowflake on the cup. They are very expensive. I don't really buy them very often, and I've used the Ohuhu alcohol markers, and I've done like a little cinema scene there. And I thought because it is spooky season, I'd make it kind of like the Grim Reaper or a skeleton holding the drink. I quite enjoyed doing this one. Moving on to day 22, and the prompt for Peachtober was web, and for Inktober it was button. So I've done these kind of shoes with webs and buttons going up the leg. I've got to say it wasn't my favourite piece. I wasn't all that happy with it. I just did that with acrylic markers. And then day 23 is paper for Peachtober and Firefly for Inktober. And that's with the alcohol markers again. And you've got a little bonus there. That's just a bit I did for fun. Monster Mash. They're both done with the Ohuhu alcohol markers. And I've done, as you can see, I'm just showing you, I did a paper airplane and the fireflies. Did the little skeletons, like little skeleton kids playing with their paper airplane. Moving on to day 24, the prompt for Peachtober was spots, and for Inktober it was rowdy. So I've done this angry looking Dalmatian, or rowdy looking Dalmatian. He's ready to fight. And I've used the Ohuhu alcohol markers for that as well. I enjoyed this one, I think it's cute. And this is day 25. For Peachtober it was stripes, and for Inktober it was Inferno. I've just got it on a loose piece of paper. It's one of the sand snakes from Beetlejuice. It's from the first film. They do Spitfire. I remember a bit of the film, so that's what I did. I thought that was cool. I enjoyed doing that, and I like Beetlejuice. I like the colours and stuff. So day 26 was bear for Peachtober, and for Inktober it was puzzling. So I did a spot the difference. I painted the picture, took a picture of it, and then added to it afterwards. I used the Kiritaki watercolours, and it's on watercolour paper. So yeah, that's my day 26. I thought it was cute. And day 27 was axe for Peachtober and onion for Inktober. This isn't my favourite piece. It's with the, I think with watercolours. I wasn't feeling great that day, so I didn't put too much effort in. I do think it shows, but yeah, there we go. It is a 31-day challenge. You're gonna have off days. This is day 28, and the prompt for Peachtober was button, and for Inktober it was skeletal. I think I wanted to make up for the day before. I really love this one. Um, it's someone pressing a planet reset button, and I kind of my inspiration was like Terminator, you know, when they have the kind of apocalypse scene and everything blows up. So I've done a skeleton. It's like left over where his flesh and clothes have been blown off. I used the medium gouache and then a fine liner pen. I really enjoyed this one. It's kind of gruesome, but yeah, I enjoyed it and I like this one. Planet Reset. I really like this one as well. The prompt for Peachtober was sour, and for Inktober it was lesson. So I've done the Sour Patch Kids at school getting a lesson on how to be sour. I used the alcohol markers to do the Sour Patch Kids, and then the rest is the medium gouache. And I think I used a bit of colour pencil, but I like that. It's quite fun. And then this one, number 30, is Whisker for Peachtober, and for Inktober it was Vacant. So this is all done with ink. Um, I've done this cat who's got vacant eyes. He's got no eyeballs. I thought it was cute. I've used, I think it's all acrylic inks. I really liked this one. I think it's cool. This is, I think I might put this on the wall actually. I like it. Do you like it? Let me know. And last but not least is one of my favourites. For Peachtober, the prompt was Ghost, and for Inktober, it was Award. So I've done this kind of Crufts Halloween special, I guess. These little ghosty dogs, I really love them. The dogs were using the Kiritaki watercolours, and then I've used acrylic markers to do the gold, silver, and bronze. But I hope you enjoyed this little video and my prompts. Happy Halloween! Bye!